Hello people, I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at the 19-page short story in this collection, Cthulhu 2000 by stories inspired by H.P. Lovecraft that was published in the 90s that I read when I was in college. I picked it up, it's published by Del Rey. I'll link you to it in the comments below. This is Esther Fisher's short story. It's called Love's Eldritch Ichor. It's a comedy. It's still set in the Cthulhu Mythos and it still has horror elements, but it's more of a comedy. I thought it was fun for me to go back and reread this thing for my Cthulhu Mythos that's dedicated in every October for my reviews for this channel. I just do Cthulhu Mythos short stories for folks. I discovered H.P. Lovecraft as a junior in college from this Del Rey. Also, this collection was published by them too. After my favorite author at the time was Michael Moorcock, who's done some science fiction and some fantasy in the Eternal Champion series. And then I started picking up the three collections of Lovecraft by Del Rey. Loved it. He became my favorite author very quickly thereafter. I did a deep dive over the last 2 years in college at West Virginia University, and then 2 years at grad school there too, getting my master's in public administration. And I enjoyed it a lot and did a deep dive into it, the Cthulhu Mythos that he inspired back in the pulp era, and so forth. So we're doing a deep dive into that for this channel. Anyway, so this short story is 19 pages long. Again, it took me more than 40 pages, probably like 45 or 50 pages, minutes for me to knock it out. Normally, my oversized collection, like this one, is typically 2 minutes a page. So typically you would expect a 19-page short story to be 39 or 40 minutes. But here it was much slower. So if you enjoy, a more deeper dive into stuff, then you'll definitely like this. Again, it's a nice change of pace with the comedy sides of things. It's fun. It's interesting. So I'll be giving this probably like a 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely well done by Esther. It's fun stuff. Anyway, so let's take a look at my review. Now, as a reminder, my review are spoiler free. So only do we doing the first couple pages to get you started with what's happening. This short story has a lot of letters in it from one person to another. So we're going to start off on the first page reading a letter from an editor-in-chief of a publisher in New York City to a person in a city called Arkham, which was created by Lovecraft and is in the Cthulhu Mythos. Called Miss Pickman, who is a relative to somebody who's famous, and it's also a name you would know if you're familiar with Pickman's model. Anyway, she's a new writer. She submitted a script to this publishing company that this point of view characters things coming from, and then she has read it and she's accepted it, and she's offered $1,200 up front for the person, and then that'll be it. And then they go ahead and she's assigning us an editor who's going to be our point of view character after this first letter is over with. Anyway, and then they'll start corresponding. She tells the editor after a meeting with all our editors that she assigns her to him because they're only paying her $1,200. They're not paying her a real amount like they would pay somebody. She doesn't have an agent, right? She's definitely new. She's in Arkham. She was born in Arkham. She went to the local university, Miskatonic University, which because she went to Vassar, she'd never even heard of. And she's constantly telling people about how great her, literature degree from Vassar was, from the other folks and so forth in the company. Anyway, and then she's stayed in Arkham and so forth. So she thinks of this as just some backwater young person who's talented. So we need to keep them in the backwater, so they're a cheap option moving forward. And they haven't offered residuals or multiple payments or anything like that, right? So for example, so at $1,200 just for one book is definitely under the salary. So his job as the editor is to keep her out of the loop of what's happening, and so forth. And that's 3 pages in. So what winds up happening for the last, 16 pages left in the short story, I'll leave to you. It's fun stuff. I liked it. Again, 7.5 out of 10. So there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read this? If so, what'd you think about it? Did you agree or disagree with both my 7.5 out of 10? If so, let's talk about it in the comments below. As a reminder, this channel is named The Worst Thing About New Books. It's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Schubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And so an older work like this that's decades ago, published in the 90s, definitely key stuff for this channel. Finally, if you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? there's going to be a lot more of these to follow, and then I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing in watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.